I've learned firsthand that there is actually such a thing as a wrong way to start an art shop. And I'd like to save you the struggle. Hello everyone! Welcome to Art Business with Ness. I'm Ness and I'm a professional illustrator and Etsy shop owner. It's been a really exciting week. I finally opened the doors to my Art Business Bootcamp Level 3 course last week. It was long awaited and you guys have been saving up your spots already. The doors close on March 12th, so you still have a few more days to get in. This course is the last chapter in the Art Business Bootcamp trilogy, and one of the biggest things that we focus on in this bootcamp is how to create other income streams in your art business, something like an art shop. This is a really big topic, so I thought in this video, let's do a little overview and get this conversation started by talking about the main steps to start your own art shop. But right before we get started, if you're new here and you would like to see more videos like this, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the little bell. The bell sends you notifications every single time I upload a new video, and this way you're sure that you won't miss any of the advice. Alright, so let's talk about art shops. First of all, I want to give you a little overview of my own experience with art shops. It's really all over the place. I first started an Etsy shop when I was still in college at about 21 or 22 years old, and that shop was really a mess. That's the best way that I can describe it. I really wasn't sure what I was doing with it, and so it was a mix of original art, prints, there was even hand-binded sketchbooks and painted shoes. It was just everything that I could think of was thrown on there. There wasn't any common thread or even a common art style, and it was just all over the place. There's no justification for it. It was such a mess. I made a few sales here and there, maybe about 5 in over 3 years that it was open, so it definitely wasn't a big success. But after that, I decided to start with some commissions. So I did some pet portrait commissions a lot. I did some watercolor couples portraits and that sort of thing. I was selling them on Etsy a little bit, and also I was looking and trolling the forums at DeviantArt and ArtStation for these types of gigs that I could find. A few years after that, I decided to try my hand again at Etsy, and this time there was a little bit more of a direction. I decided to sell art prints, and so I created a collection of, I think, 30 different art prints that were all in sort of the same style and vibe, and I called it the black and white collection or something like that. It was all black and white. It was actually my Inktober stuff that I transformed into art prints, and I put it all up on this Etsy shop that I branded all cute. I thought it was gonna be a success because I thought about it so much more. But then I made maybe 10 sales. I guess it was a little bit better than the previous one, but I still wasn't thinking enough about what I wanted to do with that. You know, these art prints, who would be buying them? What would they be for? And so after a while, I closed this shop as well because I couldn't figure it out. And then after that, I opened a clip art shop, which I spent a lot of effort on this clip art shop, but for some reason I could never quite nail it down to. And finally, about 3 years ago, I opened my current Etsy shop, which I still run, and it has been a great success. It's called The Digital Siren, and I sell digital planners and digital planner stickers. So what I've learned is that it's not necessarily what product you sell that means that it's going to be a success or not a success. It's how you go about it, it's how you plan, it's your marketing and all of those things. And if you don't plan it like it's a real business, it is going to fail miserably. But opening an art shop is definitely worth it. Having another income stream like that in your art business, it can really help you out with more stability. You get more control in your hands for your art business. So when your freelance commissions and things like that are more on the slow side, you can work more on your shop. And one upside that really surprised me is that it can actually bring you some opportunities as well, because people can discover you through your art shop as well. I've now had several clients contact me after finding my work on Etsy, and so this is another way that you can market yourself as well, and it can open doors for you. So let's get started with the steps to go through to open your very own art shop. Step number 1, decide who you want to sell to. You might be thinking right now, who you want to sell to? Why is that the first step? Shouldn't I decide what I want to sell first? But actually, no, that's a little bit backward. It's all about serving people when you open a shop, and you need to be thinking about who is going to buy from you before you can create stuff that is going to be really well suited for them. It's a common mistake to create a product without thinking enough about who it is for. That's the mistake that I did with my art print shop. I really wasn't thinking who would put that up on their wall, for what kind of decor, for what kind of room. I just put my work onto art prints thinking that it was going to sell, but that's not how it works. We all have different tastes and different needs, and the art that we love isn't necessarily going to be the product that we buy, because we're buying a product to fill a specific function. With the art print example, if we're buying an art print that we're going to put in our kitchen, it's going to be quite different than one that we're going to put in the baby's nursery, for instance. If people are buying an item like a shirt, a hoodie, a mug, they're also thinking about function and style, not just necessarily the artwork. And very often people buy items for gifts, so it might not even be for them, it might be for someone else. Even if someone loves your art, it doesn't mean that the product is going to be something that they are looking for at this moment, because your artwork and the final product is actually different. So first, decide who you want to serve. This is the starting point, and it will influence every single decision that you make afterwards to build your art shop. Step number 2, decide what you want to sell. Finally, we can decide what kind of products that you're going to create for your art shop, and this is the really exciting part. I encourage you not to limit yourself to the typical art prints. This is something that almost every artist does, and it is very competitive for that reason. But art prints aren't the only product that you can create. There are so many possibilities. From mugs to tote bags to enamel pins or even skateboard, whatever you can think of. With your ideal customer at your starting point, decide what kind of products would be best for that person. What is that person looking for? What would they like? For instance, if your ideal customer is a PC gamer, then maybe you can create some nice mouse pads and laptop stickers and things like that. At this stage, do some research to see what kind of options you have to create these products. You can make them yourself by hand. You can partner with a manufacturer to produce those items, or you could use a print-on-demand service. It also doesn't have to be physical products. For instance, my current Etsy shop sells digital products, and that can be really cool too. Digital products can have many different advantages. I love the fact that when I make a sale, I don't have to actually fulfill the order. Step number 3, decide where you want to sell. Now it's time to figure out where your art shop will be hosted. Nowadays, there are so many tools to help you open your art shop. It's kind of amazing to see all the possibilities that exist today, but it can also be a little bit confusing and overwhelming for that same reason. Your main options are 1, to host your art shop yourself on your own website, such as a Shopify website. 2, to host it on a marketplace such as Etsy. Or 3, to host it on a print-on-demand marketplace such as Redbubble, Society6, etc. There are pros and cons to all of these options. For instance, hosting your website yourself is a little bit riskier because you have to pay upfront for your website. However, in the long run, it can be the cheapest option. Marketplaces like Etsy take some fees from your sales, so it is more expensive to run, but it's free or almost free to open up. You have to pay like 20 cents per listing or something like that, but you can start your shop for very, very low price. Print-on-demand marketplaces can host your shop for absolutely free, but it's the most expensive in the long run because not only are they going to host your products, but they are going to print, create, and ship your products. On the other hand, print-on-demand services are the easiest to run because you almost have nothing to do except your marketing. So at this stage, make sure to take some time to really think about your options and to pick something that is really good for you and your future art shop. And finally, step number 4, create a marketing strategy. This is a step that so many artists skip, but it is the most important step. Creating the product is the fun part, but selling the product is the part that us artists don't really love as much. However, it is the point of having an art shop, and if we don't take any time or effort with the marketing, these products are not going to sell themselves. But we often don't put any thought at all into the marketing, and then we're all shocked Pikachu faces when we don't sell anything. This is also the point where most of us kind of lose interest and decide that this isn't working, so we give up. The thing though is that marketing strategy actually isn't as difficult as you might think. Most of us artists think that we suck at it, but we just lack the knowledge. Once you know what to do, it's all a matter of sitting down and coming up with your strategy that you can implement to make sales regularly. And no, just posting about your products every once in a while on Instagram isn't a marketing strategy. A full marketing strategy includes who is your ideal customer, and if you've been following those steps that we've been talking about, you already know that. Second, where is your ideal customer? Third, how can you get their attention and what they would like to see from you? Fourth, how can you gather them in preparation for your launch? And fifth, how can you keep them coming back for more afterwards? This is a full marketing strategy. And if you can't answer these questions yet, you have some thinking to do and you're not quite ready yet to open your art shop. However, when you are able to answer those questions, success is sure to follow. And these questions are the very things that I help you figure out in the Art Business Bootcamp Level 3 course. In this course, we will do a deep dive into possible revenue streams for you so you can pick which one is perfect for your career and your process. We will craft together your new business from the ground up. I will teach you the ins and outs of marketing strategy so that you don't leave anything to chance and you can launch your new art shop to hordes of impatient fans. And I will teach you how to run your shop day to day, how to get consistent sales and get your customers to come back to you. All of that and more. And the best part is that during the pre-order period, you will be able to reserve your spot for 50% off. The doors close on March 12th, so you have just a few more days to get in. Then I will be closing the door so I can focus on teaching the material, and this mega discount will be disappearing forever. So don't miss this opportunity and hurry up to go reserve your spot. I will leave the link in the description below. So that's it for me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to help this small channel grow. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!